Hi, I'm Reverend Jake Sabe, and welcome to Children's Bible Stories. Alright children, our Bible story for today is going to be the story of Peter's confession. And this story comes from Matthew chapter 16. So Jesus came into the district of Caesarea Philippi, and he turned to his disciples and said, "Who do people say that the Son of Man is?" And they answered, "Some say John the Baptist. Others say Elijah. Others say Jeremiah. Others say one of the other prophets." And Jesus said, "Yes, but who do you say that I am?" And this is when St. Peter came forward and said, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." And so here Peter confesses that Jesus is God the Son, and truly is the Messiah, the anointed one of God. And in response, Jesus says to this, "Blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. And I tell you that you are Peter," meaning rock, "and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven." Now this is a very important story to understand, because this is one of the passages that the Roman Catholics use to support their doctrine of the Pope being the supreme head of the church on earth. The Roman Catholics claim that Peter is the rock upon which the church is built, and that Peter alone was given the keys of the kingdom. Therefore, they say that Peter is the one who can forgive and retain sins, and that all the other ministers just do it on his behalf. However, when Jesus says that I shall build my church upon this rock, he does not say Peter, masculine, but Petra, feminine. Because if Jesus had intended to say that Peter was the rock upon which he built the church, he could have just used the same word Peter. He could have said, "You are Peter, and upon Peter I build my church." But instead, Jesus says, "You are Peter, and upon Petra I build my church." Because the rock that Jesus is referring to is not Peter himself, but the rock of Peter's confession. And so when Jesus gives to Peter the keys of the kingdom, he's not giving them to Peter the individual. He's giving them to Peter the confessing Christian. And so in this account, Jesus is giving the office of the keys not to Peter alone, but to all Christians. In this place, Peter is standing as a representative of all Christians, because Jesus is building his church not upon the rock of Peter, but upon the rock of Peter's confession. Therefore, every other Christian who makes the same confession that Jesus is the Messiah, the church is built upon them as well. Therefore, when Jesus gives the keys to Peter, he's not giving the keys just to Peter himself. He's giving the keys to everyone who makes the same confession of Peter. Therefore, myself and all of you who are watching, if you too make the same confession as St. Peter, you too have been given the keys of the kingdom. And that's our video for today, children. I've been your host, Reverend Jake Zabel. Goodbye and God bless.